Hey prop farmers, this is Joe Hicken, and in this video I'm going to be explaining the profit basket feature. And I'll also be explaining how to use profit baskets to lock in profits. We had a situation today where one of our top strategies, it's a great strategy, but it just so happened that, it had a lot of floating profits, and then the market reversed, and it actually lost those profits and hit equity protector. And that's to be expected with this strategy, but there may be room for improvement if we can actually lock in some of those profits in case the market reverses. Instead of realizing a loss, we can actually close out in profit. And that is one of the awesome features about the profit basket, is that you can actually do that. So I'll be going through each one of these settings and subsettings of the profit baskets, including that trailing stop loss feature that I was just talking about. And I'll try to give some visual examples as well to hopefully help you understand this profit basket feature here. So starting here with the use profit basket feature, okay, pretty straightforward. Just simply set this to true. When you set it to true, it's going to activate all of these sub features here. You can see these are all sub features. Okay, if this is set to false, then no matter what these sub features are set to, they're not going to be used. So this has to be set to, this one has to be set to true in order to use the profit baskets. And here's what the profit basket is. The profit basket will calculate the net profit loss of both the open and closed trades until the profit basket goal is reached. So basically you set, how much profit you want to collect in your profit basket, quote unquote, right? So whatever that is, and then Titan will automatically calculate what the net profit loss is, and once you've achieved your basket goal, once it reaches that, then it will close all trades. So let's say you want to make $2,000, great. You set your profit basket goal to $2,000, and then once the net profit equals $2,000, then all trades will close, and you'll have made $2,000. So this calculation is based on the PB start balance, which you can see on the TitanX info panel on your chart. You can also reset this using the reset button if needed. So if we actually look at this here, you can see we have a profit basket start balance. And we actually have separate profit basket start balance, one for buys, one for sells. And that's because we have the profit basket direction based that's being used. Which just simply means that Titan is going to calculate profits in each direction separately. So this can be useful when bidirectional mode is set to true. You're going to have buys and sells open at the same time. And so, for example, if your profit basket goal is 200, then once buys reach $200 profit, only the buy trades will close. Your sells could be at $100 profit, but they won't close. They'll stay open until they get to that 200. So it's looking at the buys and sells separately. One thing I do want to note here, actually we'll get to that in a second, excuse me. So the calculation is profit basket start balance plus floating profit loss plus realized profit loss. So let's say, for example, you hit equity protector, so you're down $4,000 on a 100K account, but you're floating $3,000 profit. Well, your profit basket goal might be set to $3,000, but you're still at a net profit loss of minus 1,000. It has to be, I forgot what I said. I think it was 3,000, right? It still needs to be at that $3,000 of net profit in order to close all trades and hit, right? So if our profit basket start balance is 100,000, just like we have here, and then we hit equity protector, well, now our balance is going to show 95,000, say, for example. We're actually going to need to float, what is that, $8,000 until we're actually going to be able to hit that profit basket goal. Okay, and that shows here, I believe, is the margin to the profit basket goal. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay. Yep, so once that calculation is equal to the profit basket goal, just like we went over, all trades will close, auto trading will turn off, and trading will resume according to the profit basket auto resume setting. Okay, and so that's a separate setting here. Profit basket auto resume. We have immediately, next day, next week, what have you there. Okay, so one thing to please note here, if you are using a previous version that includes floating baskets, the features for the profit basket work exactly the same way. Sorry, the features for the floating baskets work exactly the same way as the profit basket, except closed positions are not considered in the calculations, only the open floating positions. So, in other words, you can actually use these profit basket settings to accomplish the exact same thing as any floating basket settings. Okay, so, you know, the floating baskets, what makes it different from the profit baskets is that floating basket is there's no take profit or stop loss, so it's only closing trades based on the floating profits, right? So really, what we've done here is we've combined the floating baskets and the profit baskets in order to reduce redundancy and just to make everything as efficient as possible. And the profit baskets and floating baskets are the exact same thing. The only thing that makes floating baskets different is that there's no take profit or stop loss set, and so it's only calculating based on the floating profit loss. But you can, again, accomplish the same thing as any previous floating basket settings using the profit baskets. Okay, so moving on here, profit basket types. Okay, this determines how the profit basket goal, profit basket start, and stop will be calculated. So the pair dollar means that the profit basket goal, start, and stop values will be calculated based on the net profit loss of the chart symbol that E is loaded on as a cash amount. So if you're using multiple pairs, the profit basket will be calculated separately. So let's say, for example, I'm trading, gold and GJ and Euro USD. Well, I can say, I can set this type to pair dollar amount, and I can set this to, let's say, $250, right? And it's going to only close not when my account is floating $250 profit, or net profit, I should say. Rather, only when the individual pairs hit it. So once Euro USD has made $250 net profit, that's when the trades will close. Or when gold has made $250 net profit, that one. So it's basically calculating separately for each one of the pairs. Versus the account dollar amount, that's going to be calculating the net profit loss on the account as a whole, right? And so once the account as a whole reaches $250 net profit, then it will close all trades. So you might have one pair that's losing, but two pairs that are winning. It'll just close all of the trades, regardless of the fact that one pair is not performing as well. So that can be a good way of mitigating risk when using multiple pairs. Okay, so and that was, sorry, I might have mixed up what I was saying there, but that was for the pair dollars. So account, no, that was for the account. I said that right, sorry, I got confused for a second. Okay. And the last one is the account percentage, and so that's just the same thing except based on a percentage. So I think it was here at 8.44. So this is just looking at the account. Same thing as the account dollar amount, but it's in terms of a percentage. So once the net profit has reached 8.44%, all trades will close. And that's that. And that's good for scaling, right? So you don't have to change that dollar amount as your account scales or grows. It can just, it'll automatically scale with it because of the percentage. Okay, the profit basket goal, we've talked about this a lot. It's just the amount of profit you're aiming to collect according to the profit basket type. Okay, so we already went over those types. So whatever this goal is, it's going to be either a percentage or, if I just flip this to dollar amount, then it would be $8.44. Whereas I keep it on percentage, it's 8.44%. So a big difference there, right? So this is going to be in units of whatever I have selected as my type. Same with the start, same with the stop. Okay, so let's get into this profit basket start stop. This is what I want to show you. You know what? Actually, in fact, let's just show a couple examples before we get into that of just the profit basket hitting. So, look, I made $564 there. Let's do that. Let's set our profit basket goal to $564. And that's what we should see. In this case, it doesn't matter if I do pair or account because it's going to work the same because we're only using one pair. 500. We'll say $600. Let's do that. Okay, perfect. And let's have it not resume until the next day instead of immediately. Oh, and then this PBEP auto reset. We'll get into that later. Okay, so let's see. Slow down. Okay, so we're going to slow this down here. We're going to watch this. When this hits 600, because we haven't closed any trades up to this point, when it hits 600, then we should see all trades close. Boom, it did it. You can see we're left with almost $600 profit. Now there's going to be a little bit of, slippage, I guess you could call it, where, trades take some time to close and there might be some fluctuations in the market as the trades are closing. So it's not going to be exactly 600, but you get pretty close. Okay, so there you go. That's that. Now let's move this. Let's actually. Oh, and then it was going to resume the next day. Sorry, I didn't. Instead of immediately, if we did immediately, then it would look for the next trade immediately. Now, of course, it wouldn't start trading until all the entry criteria is met. So if we go to our entry settings here, you can see this, everything that's set to true, entry delay, bidirectional mode. What else we have here? MA filter. Okay, so all of that needs to, so it's not going to actually start trading immediately because all of this criteria has to be met in order for a trade to happen. But it will start looking for trades immediately rather than the next day like I had it set to. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. But let's see, what did I want to do next? Let's set this to something higher. Set this to like 8,000. And I don't think it hits it. Let's see. I think what happens is it floats a lot of profit and then it hits equity protector. So so this is a perfect example of, I think I saw it get to like $2,000 profit there. I think I saw it get to $2,000 again. And then it hit equity protector, okay? So instead of that, what if we said, hey, let's start locking in some profits after, $600. Okay, so instead of losing 4,000, let's see if we can add that trailing stop loss feature here. So what we would do is we would use the start and stop. So let's try it. So let's keep our goal at 8,000. If it hits it, great. But let's start locking in profits at, let's say $1,000 actually, $1,000, and let's have it trail by $1,000. Okay, so what this means is when my net profit reaches $1,000, then it's going to trail. It's going to lock in. It's going to trail by $1,000. Okay. So once I get to $1,100 profit, I'll essentially have $100 of profit locked in. Okay, so the start is what triggers it, and the stop is how much it's trailing by. Now you have to be careful with this because if you did like $10, something really small, it's just going to hit it right away. This is it's like an invisible stop loss, so it's just going to hit that invisible stop loss right away. And yeah, it's great. You made $1,000, but $990, but we want to give it some room to keep going up. But this way, by setting these equal to each other, worst case scenario is we're going to be break even. It's going to hit that $1,000, and even if the market just reverses straight down from there, we'll be break even, and we'll have avoided that equity protector hit. So let's see what this does. This will be interesting. Okay, here we are. Let's slow this down and let's watch. We can see the profit basket locked by. We can see how much profit is locked in once we get to that 1,000. Okay. Dang it, I went too fast. We can even watch it again. I'll slow it down even more. But what happened was we got to $1,000 profit, and then it started locking in profits, and it looked like it got to lock in for $400 profit, meaning we got all the way up to $1,400 profit, and then the market reversed on us, and we were left with 400 instead of getting caught in this huge down move and losing $4,000. You know. Now it looks like we might have trailed it by a little. It might have been too tight. You know, we might have been able to actually capture more profit. So maybe we want to have more breathing room. You know, and that's just something that you'll have to play with. But yeah, I mean, it didn't reach our goal. You know, even at this highest point here, it didn't get to that 8,000, and so the market reversed, and it would have hit our equity protector. But because we were using our profit basket start stop, that trailing stop feature, we were able to avoid that and end up with profits instead. So pretty cool. So I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. So, go in, play with this on visual mode. You can see how it works. I guess the other thing that would be cool to show, let me just try to show this here really quick. Let me put these back to 0. Just want to show you to really help you understand this. Like, what would happen if there was some closed trades? Oh, that's right. I was going to show you the profit basket EP auto reset. Okay, right here, minus 136. Let's close all. Does it work in the tester? I don't know if I can close these trades. Okay, but anyways, this will be a good example. So we know that equity protector is going to hit, right? So we'll wait for that to happen. And then let's see what happens to this profit basket start balance. Okay, it's what's going to happen is it's going to reset. Boom. Okay, it reset to $95,000. Now, let's see here. EP auto resume. Okay, if this is set to true like it is now, it means that the profit basket start balance will reset after an EP is hit, just like it did. If set to false, though, it means that the profit basket start balance will not reset after an EP is hit. This would allow you to make back your loss when you hit your profit basket goal. Okay, so the profit basket start balance is now 95,000. That means when we hit our $8,000 goal here, right, our $8,000 goal, we're not going to actually have made $8,000. We'll only have made what, like $3,000 on the account, right, or $4,000 on the account. So you don't really have the opportunity to make back what you lost and hit your goal. Every time you lose, then you're still going to be, short of your actual goal there. So let's say I switch that to false. Let's try that now. Let's switch this to false. Well, we'll see what happens. Now, the start balance is not going to reset. It's going to stay at the 100,000, meaning now we need to, it's still going to go for that full 8,000 profit. And yeah, we have a longer way to get there now. After we hit that equity protector, we're going to have to make really more like 8,000 plus 4,000, 12,000. But when we hit our goal, it'll actually be that 8,000 profit that we wanted. It's not going to be 8,000 minus whatever we lost when we hit their equity protector. So, there's pros and cons with that, right? There's one strategy, it was the TFF Cash Daily, I think it was. It was very successful where, most of the time you can see it didn't reset. Oh, well, it just did right there, actually. Wonder why that was. Anyways, we had a strategy where yeah, it basically always made back what it lost the next day. And so it was much better to have this set to false to give it that opportunity rather than, you know, make less profit the next day because the PB start balance reset. So anyways, I hope this video was helpful. I hope it made sense. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to reach out. But yeah, we'll see you in the next video.